All right, so let's try this again. If people are just finding this one, we finally had us a technical gremlin, which we have not had in a while. For some reason, it buffered real quick. I could still see us. She could still hear us, but everybody started saying, "Hey, it's frozen or we can't see you." And it looks like I had a VPN, which I run. I don't typically run on live stream. Tried to connect, and I guess we had an issue. So
Sorry about that,
yeah,
y'all.
we'll give everybody a second to jump back in here. Looks like people are finding us. Hey,
Settle down, guys.
hush. So this is just like the good old days, technical issues. We've actually went a really long time without having technical issues. So I really don't know what happened. It said disconnected real quick. I looked down, we came back. I could read all y'all's comments. I could still see us. We could still see the live stream on her. So I'm really confused what the heck just happened and how we lost everybody, but who knows. So we'll give everybody a second to get back in because we just had some very generous people just make some extremely generous donations there that we
Yes.
we want to say thank you to. I see Adam's back on.
He said
So
I froze you.
yeah, Adam, you froze us for
Yep.
all them back-to-back donations right there. So I forget what your comment
It was
was.
for the
Solar
solar.
fund.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much.
Yes. Thank
Two
you.
extremely generous donations there. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And Scott, seeing that you made a donation there too, right before everything kind of went
Thank
haywire.
y'all so
Thank you
much.
so much, Scott. Hopefully you've got back in here because we definitely want to recognize you there. So I really don't know what happened. Um, I don't know.
It happens
It
sometimes.
does. Hey, it used to happen every single live stream. I mean, it was the running joke, and it very well may happen again. I really don't know. All I
Mine
know
was
is,
acting wonky from the start, so I don't
well, all I
know.
know is I got a message. Hey, do you want to? It popped up. You want to connect to your VPN, which I don't while I'm live
Maybe
streaming.
that's what happened.
Maybe that kicked something out, but it was really weird. You could still see us. I could still see us, and I could still read everybody's comments, but y'all couldn't see us. Whatever.
Sorry.
It is what it is. So Scott and Adam, thank you so very
Yes,
much for
thank
your
you so
generous donations
much.
there. Again, we want to recognize you. Sorry it cut off on us, but now we're back. So let's go ahead and answer some questions again real quick in case we lose you again. I don't know what that was. I checked my internet before we got on. I was getting really good speeds, like 50 megs up, which is really, really good for live streaming. You don't need anywhere near that. So are we going to let the chickens eat the fire ants in the garden this year? Asked Jeff. Jeff, I am very nervous about letting our chickens out. We have foxes, we have coyotes, we have tons of stray and neighborhood cats that come through constantly. We have bald eagles. I have some of the biggest red-tailed hawks you've ever seen in your life. I mean, huge. We have owls that fly around.
We would have to go through great lengths just to protect them,
I,
to let them out.
I'm afraid
So
I'd be so nervous. I'm scared of doing that. The garden yet has a fence, but it doesn't protect them from bald eagles and these hawks and everything else that we have. And we have a relatively small breed of chickens, so I'd be quite nervous about that. What I am going to do is probably do a chicken tractor so I can move them around the yard, let them eat fresh grasses and bugs. That'll cut back on feed. Plus, it's just better for them, better for their diet. So we'll eventually get in that. I'm just too nervous. I mean, we've been seeing bald eagles more here lately, and other things that would easily take one of our chickens. And we have so few chickens right now, and they're finally producing eggs that like they're precious to me. I don't want to let them go. I don't want to.
yeah,
I don't want to risk any of them getting
no, we count on
attacked.
those eggs for
Yeah,
sure.
without a doubt. All right, so we got quite a few people done jump back in, but I don't know if we were or where we were. No telling. So yeah, what's for dinner? What's for dinner? Everybody's asking.
Yes, everybody's very eager to know. And we're going to cook on the Blackstone tonight. And we are going to do chicken chalupas with fiesta cheese, cheesy potatoes. So I
That's a
already kind
mouthful.
of already kind of experimented a little bit. It's going to be a little interesting doing the chalupas on the Blackstone, but I think we can still pull it off.
This is Cash inspired to me. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
Cash on here last night. Cash kept sending me pictures of all the food he was cooking. Looked like shaved ribeyes or some skirt steak or something. He was
Eating good like
Oh,
always.
and then he
Yeah.
was telling me what he was going to cook today. I don't even remember all the
Carne
fancy.
asada and
Well,
all
that was
that.
last night,
Oh,
but I don't
okay.
remember the name of what he told me. But it's almost like, it looks like a little cookie to me, but it's made with almost like a cornbread or something. But it looks so good. And y'all know one of my favorite foods by far. I just love anything with Latin flair, any kind of Mexican food. I am down for it. I just don't like extremely spicy stuff. But oh my goodness, the flavor. I told her anytime she asked me last night, do you want, chalupas or
Yeah,
something
before
more?
even Cash or before I knew Cash was sending you all that food, I was like, I think I'm gonna do chalupas.
And
He's
she's
like,
like, would you like some? I'm like, you don't ever have to ask me if I want Mexican food. I will eat it all the time. That and Italian food's my two favorite, which of course we eat country cooking here all the time. I mean, we love that, but I've had it my whole life. So Adam, thank you very much for another donation,
Yes,
dude.
thank you,
Oh my
Bob.
goodness, you're
So
being so extremely
generous.
generous. He says, sorry I froze it up. That's right, man. You broke YouTube with all them donations you was throwing in right there.
Wow, that's generous of you.
So Justin says, pull a net over the top of the garden. That's a pretty big garden to do that. I'd have to get,
And I've thought about that too.
I know, I'd have to get a
Yeah.
gigantic net. And I'm just about to cut the post off, and I would have to have them to tie the net up, but I really don't have them buried and reinforced properly to do that. I don't think I'm gonna go that route. I think that'd be a heck of a lot of work. That net would probably be very expensive too.
Ruger's here.
Hey, yep, here's Ruger. He's like, y'all gonna come play
Nice and
fetch him?
wet.
I don't think everybody can see him though. I got the camera up a bit high. Speaking of the camera, let's turn it up a little and let me not unplug it like I typically do week to week. We don't need no more technical difficulties tonight. So Glenn says bald eagles need to learn to eat armadillos. Glenn, you would actually be surprised. Typically, whenever I take care of armadillos out in the field and leave them, that's one of the first things I see on them the next day. So they have learned to swing by and keep an eye on our place to see if they have any snacks out there. Where's your brother? Shouldn't you be playing with him?
I know. Go play with your brother. Go play with your brother.
Let's scroll on down and catch a couple more comments here. Yeah, that's what it was. Soaps, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. SOPES. Could be sopes or I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, soaps. According to my southern, you need to clean your mouth out with some soaps, Cash, with bean and cheese and leftover meat. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was doing refried beans, and I don't know if that was shredded queso or something he had on there, but and I love refried beans. I love them.
Yum.
Yep. Glenn, he said they're having crawfish bisque and leftover crawfish from yesterday.
Yum.
I love
That
crawfish
sounds
bisque.
amazing.
So there's a restaurant down the road from us, like the only thing out here in the middle of the woods, and they used to do a crawfish bisque, and I'd go get it with a good old piece of garlic bread to dip in it. I loved it, but I have found out over the last few years I'm starting to slowly become allergic to crawfish. You know, I've already had a shrimp and a lobster allergy, and I could eat crawfish for years. And the last few times I've ate crawfish, I've started getting the itch in my throat, so I better not risk it.
Just don't become allergic to fish.
No, don't become allergic to steak, deer, any of that stuff.
Earlier that Cash says he doesn't eat fish either, so he doesn't eat veggies or fish, just
Cash,
potatoes.
How are you surviving, buddy? How are you alive? Just meat and potatoes? Come on, man. You got to get some veggies in your life. I know Miss Ramilla can't watch us right now because it's too late over where she lives, but she's gonna be really mad at you in the morning. Don't even try vegetables. So Mikey, my goodness, thank you very much again for another donation. Y'all being so kind and generous. Says weather station fun. I like your thinking there because I started out when I was looking like some of the $100-something models, and then everybody keeps suggesting like $300 models, which I really like. And then I've seen some of the 200 range, and then holy smokes, a ton of people were suggesting like a $600-something model that seems to be high quality, but I ain't got that laying around. She would smack the mess out of me if I told her that. Yeah, I mean, I want weather, but I don't know that I want $600 worth. So somewhere in that couple hundred or less dollar range, which is already kind of a lot of money, but you got to think of all the instruments that's in that stuff. Hopefully that's where we'll wind up being. So thank you, Mikey. That was very, very generous of you. Appreciate you. Let's see what else we got going on here. Everybody talking about food. Boy, that's always a hot topic.
Somebody also mentioned, I don't know if you got to it yet, about the devastation in Rolling Fork with the tornadoes.
I was going to talk about that because I know that's on everybody's mind. I'm scrolling down through comments right now. Okay, I see Lou says lost some friends in the tornado. Oh, I'm so very sorry to hear that. So yeah, without a doubt, if
videos on it, it's devastating.
Luckily, we just did not have any of that weather make it down to us, but it stayed north of us yesterday, and I seen there was a lot of tornado warnings again today north of us, like in South Georgia area and all. But yeah, our thoughts and prayers go out to those people. I didn't stay up late watching Ryan Hall the other night, but when I woke up that morning, YouTube was already kind of buzzing with what the heck had happened. And the first video that popped up was daylight drone footage over that town. And oh my goodness, y'all, what hit me more than anything was seeing trees with no bark on them. Like, what kind of winds does it take to take bark off of a tree?
I didn't look into it today to see what the final,
EF4.
Was it EF4? Yeah. I know it was a mile wide and it was going 70 miles per hour is what it said. And it went, I think, how many I think it went 80 miles or something. Is what it
Yeah,
said.
I watched some Ryan Hall, but it was like an
Yeah.
8-hour live stream, and I mean, he watched it going to town after town after town. It was just kind of
Yeah.
heartbreaking sitting there seeing that. Like, oh goodness gracious, y'all, that's that town is just devastated, absolutely devastated. Actually, towns plural. It was multiple ones. Yeah, I mean, thoughts and prayers go out to those people, and it kind of hits home with us. While we don't get those monster storms like that here in Florida, you know, we do get crazy hurricanes. Y'all seen devastation of, like, you know, Andrew back in the day and Michael not long ago. But it really hits home with us because we got hit by a tornado. Actually,
2020.
now I was trying to see. It was March the 20. I always say
March
23rd.
31st.
March 31st. So in 5 days
Yeah.
is the 3-year. I don't even want to call it an anniversary. We took a direct hit here. There was a building right there. I had an 1,800 square foot pole barn that was 4 years old, and I was sleeping in a camper at the time, getting ready to go work shift work at the mill. Got a warning on our phone, and about 90 seconds later, I didn't take it serious at all. I just had never experienced that. About 90 seconds later, took a direct hit. It just completely destroyed the barn. It totaled the camper I was sleeping in. Tried to flip it. Luckily, I had it like mobile home anchored to the ground because we had had back-to-back hurricanes the year prior, and I was scared my camper was going to be damaged. And me and Little Bullet back there took us the ride of our life. And Tiffany had just got home, was in our metal shop unpacking groceries over
Trying
there.
to convince him to come out there.
I regret not coming out there now.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, I'm a grown man, but I still get a little cringy now when these thunderstorms start rolling through, especially this time of year. This is the time of year that tornadoes for sure happen. Um, and we just
And
had
we've had a couple in this area over the last couple of weeks, actually.
yeah, and it wasn't long after we took that hit. I finished the storm shelter, and I wasn't even done with the storm shelter. Didn't have the latches on the door, and we had one come through just north of us. But you had the phone going off. Take shelter now. This is not a drill, basically. Confirmed tornado, and then we just had a confirmed one a few weeks ago. We got the warning here on the phone, scared us to death, but it stayed probably 15, 20 miles away, thank goodness. But God goodness, I don't know, I got a long rant there. I hate seeing things like that. It crushes us thinking what all those people are going through to literally go to bed, having a home, to waking up to nothing, absolutely nothing. So, I hate seeing that. Oh, something going down I've done missed. A bunch of people. So Lance, Weather Station Fund. Boy, y'all burning up these donations tonight.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so very much.
One.
Yeah, thank you so very much. And then Mike, Tiffany's gonna get on with this. He says pull ASAP. Thank you for the donation there. ASAP. Yep. So
After today, like real ASAP.
I would have dove right in it today. We were so hot after working out there and cutting those trees and chipping and everything, like almost sick hot. But we have the pool. We just have decided not to install it just yet. It's coming up because of something we want to share with y'all, but we can't just yet. And I should be getting some final details here before long. Well, everybody keeps bringing the pool up, wanting to know why it's not in. And we're not the ones bringing it up and hiding stuff from you, but it's a good thing for us. We just don't need the pool right here just yet for something that's supposed to happen. We're going to share it with y'all very soon once things kind of become finalized.
Yeah,
So.
and we still got to decide on what we're going to do for the can't even think deck.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, keep hearing about how much this concrete and all is, and wood is now so cheap. I'm like, we decided we did not want to do a wood deck or that Trex kind of PVC board. We want concrete. Concrete looks good, but I have a feeling we're going to get a concrete quote, and we're going to be like, we might be doing a wood deck off the back side of the porch. We're going to find all that out here before long. Oh, let's see what else we got going on here. Oh, reading a few of y'all's comments. Bear with me. Okay, Justin, I've missed you. Thank you very much.
Yes,
everybody's blowing this weather station up. I'm not gonna have much.
I guess you're gonna get one.
I'm not gonna have much excuse now. I'm gonna have to go ahead and make that thing happen. So thank you very much, Justin. You're always so kind and generous. Truly do appreciate you. Thank you very much. Scroll on down and catch a few more of these comments. Can you still make money for broadcasting your weather station? Asked Justin. That'd be something to ask somebody else. Never owned one. I didn't know they actually paid for that. That's not a bad idea, though, especially if you got one of them high dollar ones, linked it to the internet, and allowed, like, well, National Weather Service or somebody to use it. That would be excellent data collection for them. That's very interesting. I'd imagine you couldn't get paid very much. Yes, so they're saying Ryan Hall's live right now. I seen that earlier because,
Is he?
yep, the storms are coming back through, and those more tornado warnings popped up today that I wasn't expecting at all. Miss Lee says they had 2 tornadoes in California last week. I
Wow.
didn't know y'all had tornadoes there. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. And a lot of people don't realize, believe it or not, Florida, last I checked, that could be old data. Florida is, I think, maybe the top
Hey,
tornado
drop it.
producing state in the world. We just typically get very weak tornadoes here. EF0s, EF1s. EF1's what hit us. It's, oh man,
That would have been bad.
woo! Dogs chewed up a bone. We want to get it from them real quick. But we get tons of tornadoes here. They're just very weak. With that said, I don't want to ride any tornado out ever again.
None.
I've been through tons of hurricanes, and I'll take a hurricane any day of the week over a tornado because at least you can see that coming. You can prepare for it. When a tornado pops up out of nowhere, it's just, I hate that unpredictability of them, and it just scares you to death. So, my goodness, Miss Lee. Miss Lee.
Oh, Miss Lee.
Thank you so very much. Y'all are being so extremely generous.
That is so generous.
Appreciate y'all so much, man. All the members and what y'all are doing, like, it means the world to us. It really does.
Yes. We thank each of y'all.
Yeah, without a doubt. Okay, there's Chris asking for a zip line for the pool. Yep. I have to pop those custom windows out. We'll see if we can zip line from the loft straight into the pool. If I'd ever see that rent you've been promising for a couple years, maybe we can make some of that stuff happen. So, Tiffany question, what's your favorite beach town to vacation in, and any thoughts on Anna Maria Island or Sanibel Island?
My favorite beach by far is St. Augustine, just because I like the mixture of all the different things to do there, the downtown,
The
being able to
restaurants.
drive on the beach. I have not ventured to the west coast of Florida very much to really know those beaches, so that's something I need to do because they look beautiful.
And
But I haven't ever ventured over there.
I'm trying to remember, I've heard of Sanibel my entire life. I can't
Yeah.
remember where the heck it's
I
at.
can't either right at the moment. But yeah, I love St. Augustine the
Which
most.
I think she's crazy because the most beautiful beaches on the planet to me, well, without getting into like Caribbean and everything else, is right over here near us. Like
I know, but I just love
Pensacola,
everything that
Destin.
there is to do at St. Augustine. And it's probably because I haven't ventured out too much.
It's
so.
got that old dirty, nasty water over there. I don't like that. I like this old aqua water that.
I'm comfortable with it, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it is
Of course,
for you.
we did like going to Pensacola. That was nice, but it was really busy too. And
Pensacola's extremely busy.
Yeah.
I've never seen so many people on a beach, and it was no holiday or nothing. That was wild. That was absolutely wild. I like Destin personally. I think it's the perfect spot.
Destin is beautiful.
It is. So DRGTI 16V. I don't know your name. You should have put that in there. He says, for the solar panel fund, we appreciate you so much. So,
thank you.
so speaking of the solar panels, I'm actually placed an order for a load of steel. I got to go get that at some point this week. And I'm already installing some equipment out in the solar room right now. A lot of people have been asking about that. And I'm going to start building our second solar array this week. So we're about to double the size. So things are heating up quickly. They're going to get really interesting. So hopefully y'all are enjoying the series because, well, there's still quite a bit more of that coming. And then we're going to sprinkle some daily stuff in throughout. Yes, then we get on to the secret project or thing that we were telling you about, the pool. The chicken coop's still 100% happening. We got to get some more chickens. So there's still a bunch of fun projects coming. We're just going to drown in a little more solar and a little more electrical, y'all's favorite, for just a little while longer. Excuse me. Mikey, again, dude, seriously?
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow.
Thank you so very much. He said, so what about ham radio? He belongs to an amateur radio services. You know, I've had people ask me about ham before. I know just a little bit of it and what's people's purpose behind it. I personally never really looked into it. I need to do that. It's brought up enough. I don't know if I have time to go study and get another license right now, but ham radio, yes, especially for kind of preparedness and emergencies and things like that. it's a really good thing to have. It is something I need to look into, but I haven't right now. What else we got going on here?
Hey, drop it.
Holy smokes, I've missed a ton
Drop
of
it.
comments. Let me scroll on down to
Come on,
catch a few more.
Drop it.
Uh-oh, we got more broken bones.
Here. Yeah, he's
I'll
like
throw that one
shredding
away.
them.
Go
Hey.
ahead and get that one too. My goodness, we've been giving the dogs new rib bones, and these ones are not holding up very well. So Cass says they get a lot of dirt devils, still counts as a tornado. Hey, those things can get scary too. Not like what we've seen on TV the last few days, that's for sure. So Glenn says, yep, the tornadoes that spin off the hurricanes. That's probably where we get the majority of our tornadoes here in Florida, with the exception of this time of year. Every time a cold front whips through, it seems like they drop down left and right.
Yeah, gum it.
We actually had quite a bit of
Drop it.
tornadoes. Don't forget you got your mic
Drop
on.
it.
We had quite a bit of tornadoes over the last few months in like December too. It was really weird, especially over in the kind of panhandle area where I was just talking about all the pretty beaches are. Casey, my friend, y'all have seen that I've put on YouTube a couple times. It seems like every time I pull up the radar over there in that Panama City area, there's tornadoes. I don't know what the heck. It's just the way they come off the coast over there.
Should I go ahead and
Yeah, you
swallow
go
them
ahead and
up?
fire up the Blackstone so we
It's going
can.
to take me a while with this meal, so.
Yeah, go ahead. That's
All right.
fine. I'll catch some more comments. Keep talking, everybody. So Jerry says if you do treks, you best have fireproof feet. So Jerry, we originally, that was 100% what we were going to go with for our deck was treks. Every Trex deck I have looked at that bakes in our Florida sun, they all wind up doing this because Trex is basically like a plastic board. I don't know if I've ever seen but one or two that's not warped, and that has scared us to death and scared us from wanting to get Trex. Not to mention it's $25 or $30 a board as well. The wood, well, you've got to constantly prep it, take care of it, clean it. It splits. And then the concrete, of course, is just outrageous. So I don't know what we're going to go to just yet. The good news is we can put the pool in, we can use it. We're just going to have to walk down there and dip our feet in a bucket or something. And then we can get back to figuring the deck out. At least we can go and start using the pool. So we'll get that in here before long. My goodness. Now everybody's talking about the weather. See, weather and food, most popular topics on the planet. So Kathy says, what happened with this member thing from last week? I guess I missed a good live. Kathy, everybody went into like unbelievable generous mode last week. And of course, the extremely generous Mr. Doug, I can't even think straight right now, just started gifting memberships to people everywhere. And then Adam started gifting, I mean, these people started gifting them left and right. What the membership is, we started a while back. I didn't even announce it or tell nobody for the simple fact of that's just not something I was trying to push. But we started memberships on YouTube. You'll see a lot of channels offer that, especially bigger channels. And it's just behind the scenes looks. I'll do, little quick videos, give updates and things like there. It's just kind of perks, I guess it is. Our full length videos we're always going to do right here on the platform where it's nice and free. And the other cool thing about the membership perks is the majority, well, more of the money, it's $4.99 a month, goes to the creator than to YouTube itself. That's something people have always been very curious about. Hey, if I donate or join, I want to make sure that you're getting the most money that you can. I understand that. And it just went wild last week. I don't know. The donations went wild. Like it was I got choked up a little. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
it just went crazy last week. So everybody's just so kind and generous. And if we have new people on here tonight, we're not expecting any of this. We really are not. Live streams on Sundays is just for us to kind of hang out and have a family, and we call it a family atmosphere. It really is. It's a community. You just read the comments. Everybody's chatting back and forth, having their own conversation. So if you're new, it's nothing we push. It's nothing we expect. And I don't even talk about it until somebody brings it up. Turn this camera up, make it a little brighter so y'all can see what's going on. All right, let's grab a few more comments. So Jeff wants to know, is the Dove power line happening this year? It is actually. Are you still on here, Logan? Logan, hopefully I can say that, has been really helping me out with some materials for that. So it will happen. It's just not going to be immediately. So yes, we're still planning that. So Michael says off-grid power for backup is the best. And that's what I want people to understand. So our power is so cheap here, and we have relatively reliable power here. It makes no sense for us financially to buy a ton of solar equipment, tens of thousands of dollars worth, to go off grid. Where it does make sense and where I highly desire it is one, for making content for YouTube. Let's be honest, it's good educational content. People love learning about it. I love it. I love anything electrical, and I love tech. The main reason I want it, backup. Hurricane state, power grids are already starting to trip and fail. Everybody's experiencing brownouts and blackouts. Like I say, geopolitical tensions, not to fearmonger, but things are happening. We all experience stuff constantly, and the world's just getting crazier by the day. And I like the idea of a fossil-free backup source. So should something major happen, we don't have to rely on a generator around the clock, which eventually is going to bite the dust. It's not going to make it. Well, fossil-free backup power, the sun pretty much always shines here in Florida. I think it just going to help me sleep better at night. Now, with that said, we're putting this in, so it might as well start paying me back, right? I'm not just going to let it sit out there idle for backup in case something happens, when I can go ahead and flip a breaker over, start powering up, say, the shop or the house, and it starts paying me back every month. I am going to keep at least 1 meter on the property and stay grid tied or grid available to where I can flop back, because it only costs me $30 a month for fees and a facility fee and all the stuff that our power company charges, to stay grid tied. And I think I like the idea of that. We'd have to put in a pretty big battery system to be comfortable to go completely off grid and no longer have a grid tied system. And we're going to discuss some of that on the channel here coming up. Whenever I talk about the power that I'm having, it's to make it through the night, and I'm expecting a sunny day tomorrow. If I don't have a sunny day tomorrow, I'm eventually going to get enough batteries. That'll be okay for one day. But if you have multiple cloudy days, well, I need to be able to tie back to grid or fire up a generator and charge all your batteries up. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let me move this camera, and let me go ahead and forewarn y'all. Every time I move the camera here lately, it unplugs for a second. This could be really bad for the live stream. I don't want to cause our second one to go down.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
and I got to recognize some people too. Cash, thank you so much for gifting some memberships there. Really appreciate you. Justin, thank you again for extremely generous donation there. It says, really liking the new solar room you did. Looks great and was well thought out. Appreciate that. We got some more cool stuff coming for that solar room too. And then Cash, my goodness, gifting memberships again. So I at least want to recognize y'all real quick in case I accidentally cut this off. Mr. Mike, my goodness, another donation there.
Thank y'all so much.
I bet Ruger won't dip his feet in the bucket before he jumps in the pool. I think you're exactly right. And then Adam gifted more memberships. Holy smokes, y'all.
Y'all are just amazing.
Y'all are being so kind of generous. And y'all really are inspiring us and more people than you realize. I tell Mr. Doug that all the time. And you know it. You see it. Everybody's so excited to see him when he gets on. So this is the way the world should work. All right, I'm going to try to move the camera, and I'm going to pray I don't cut y'all off. Oh, let's don't do it. I'm nervous.
All right, so if y'all missed it, we are doing chicken chalupas with cheesy fiesta potatoes. It's all kind of Taco Bell inspired, but I haven't ate at Taco Bell in like, I don't know.
I'm not really
10
interested.
years.
I'm not really interested in an upset stomach.
I remember those chalupas being so good. And then I was like, what else can I do? I'm like, let me do some cheesy potatoes. And sure enough, I guess they do that there too. I've never had them, but
yeah,
try it out. Now, I will say that my chalupas are not going to be the same as like deep frying them in a pan where they get all puffy and fluffy, but
okay.
We're going to do them on the Blackstone. We don't like to really deep fry too much, but we're going to lightly fry them on here and see how they do.
So, my goodness, Mr. Gray, holy smokes, golly, y'all are so
Thank you, Mr.
so
Gray.
generous.
Thank you.
Mr. Gray is always so kind of generous, and he is one of our biggest Patreon supporters too, y'all. I mean, there's a lot of these people do behind the scenes stuff that people don't see. So, without a doubt, this is the kind of stuff that has made this possible. As the channel grows, yes, the channel will start supporting us financially, but it takes so many other things on the side. And I don't try to, I want to recognize them, but at the same time, I don't want I don't want it to sound like we're asking for that kind of stuff either. So hopefully that makes sense. But Mr. Gray, you're always so kind and generous.
Yes,
And
thank
probably
you.
the most important fund on the planet, fence fund.
Fence, yes, yes,
Oh,
it is
the
a
most-
very important fund.
One of the more expensive projects we have coming up. And I want some animals so bad. I want cows so bad, but I got to get that pasture fenced in. And the last time I checked gates and fencing and all that stuff, it is outrageous. I mean, $10,000 I can have in fencing that in with a few gates. Luckily, lumber has dropped a lot. So, which I'm not really planning on putting a lot of, I was going to do metal T-posts and just a few wooden posts in between. So I need that stuff to drop. Man, I need metal to drop. So Mr. Gray, thank you so very much. Always so kind and generous.
And I know I didn't mention it, but I seasoned 4 chicken breasts and kind of slice them up here into strips so they'll fit on the chalupa real good. And I seasoned them with taco seasonings and fajita seasonings.
Smells good. So let's see here. Corey asked, how am I going to protect the solar panels during a storm? Corey, you need to go back and watch my solar array build video. I made it to where it'll break down and it's modular just for hurricanes. I got to be thinking ahead. It's Florida. I don't want to be nervous every time one of those is out there in the storm. So when we tested it, it takes about 4 to 5 minutes to break it down. And really, if I use the tractor, I can get it down in no time. And we can carry 6 panels in on a steel frame into the shop at a time. So you'll probably be talking 15 to 20 minutes to do a full breakdown once my entire array is built with 24 panels. But I've designed it just for, we get notice on a hurricane's coming, we can go out there and take our time, remove just a few bolts, and I can carry it right in the shop. So I do not want my solar panels riding out of hurricane. The whole point of having backup power is something major like that comes through. I don't want them damaged. I don't want no wiring damage, no issues. I'll take them right back out after the storm, lock them back in place, readjust them, and I'm back in business. Flip a switch and let's go. In the meantime, I truly believe in gas generators. I've had them for years. We'll be running one of those until we get the solar system built back up and sun pops out, which if we have enough battery backup, we can go ahead and flip over to solar even in the midst of the storm, which we plan on doing. Oh, there's one more I was going to catch here. Jessica, you said, do I still sell the fire pits? And if so, for how much? Currently, no. I am not building them, but I have been buying tanks in bulk when I can find them. That was one of my biggest issues over the last few years, not finding, well, the tanks that I cut this out of. I finally found some. I bought a couple trailer loads of them. They literally cost me about 3 times now what I was paying, well, 3 years ago. The steel that I buy is up. So I really don't even know what I'd sell them for just yet. When I could finally slow down, I'm buying the tanks to eventually get back into that little side business. I'll just have to recalculate what everything's costing me. It's went up like everything else. And I don't even really know what I would sell one for right now. I'll eventually get back to that. But right now, oh no. List a mile long, too many projects. But I'm eventually going to get there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be buying the tanks back. So the whole thought process that behind that is, well, I'm not going to be doing major projects forever. The house, is winding down. Chicken coop will be one of the last big projects, some fencing, and then, well, the channel's going to kind of slow down, and it's going to have to kind of move into something else. And DIY projects like that and building and smaller projects is exactly where I plan on it going to have some fun. But in the meantime, well, for the next year plus, we still have some pretty big projects going on.
All right, I already pre-boiled these potatoes, softened them anyways. I left them a little firm so they don't fall apart on the Blackstone. Now I'm going to add my seasonings. I'm going to do some paprika.
Reading some comments.
Do some taco seasoning.
Somebody said they're into the apron there.
Yes, I love this apron.
Yep. That's Miss Lee hooked us up with quite a bit of stuff.
And I meant to grab my bacon grease to do the potatoes in, but oh well. Next time. Next time.
Bacon up.
Yes, the bacon up.
Yeah,
Let's
that
do
would
some
be
cow camp. Why not?
cow camp cash. There we go. Shout out to
some cheese in here. Let me get that. Here's our cheesy Fiesta potatoes.
I might better bump the camera back up. I don't think they can see. It's getting dark. And this isn't really a cooking show, y'all. That's why I'm not all zoomed in on that. But it's just something we do. We already got to eat anyway, so we're going to share it with y'all. So Miss Lee, did I read that right? You just replaced chain link fence around just your backyard and a cedar fence around the front yard, and it cost her $19,000. I'm in the wrong business.
Wow.
Oh, I'm in the wrong business. Now that is California. I know things are a lot higher over there. Oh my goodness. And Humble Redneck wants to know how much for a chalupa.
How much for a chalupa?
Yeah, we'll drop you one in the mail. I don't know if it's gonna be any good when it gets there.
And I did see Hammerman's comment about the blackfin tuna, and oh, I'm just dreaming about it right now.
I'd love to have some tuna. Oh my goodness, I'd love to have some. So let's see here. Really like your outdoor kitchen. Going to start building one soon. Any pointers? I mean, I did a whole series on it. By all means, watch it. I try to give as many tips as I can. Just I want people to keep in mind. I mentioned it throughout that series. We're very protected here. Huge overhang. We have had rain blowing here and literally puddle up everywhere. But if I was going to be building outside with no roof overhead, well, go ahead and do like a fiber cement board and maybe do steel studs, which in my mind, pressure treat should still be fine, especially if you wrap it in like a fiber cement siding or a board that can really handle that weather. But weatherproof even more if you're going to be out there and exposed. Keep in mind, think about what the sun's going to do to it as well. Other pointers, I don't know. We're still really enjoying ours. No issues have popped up. The only issue I am having, I lied, is the paint on these pieces I painted. Well, I didn't think about all the cats that jump up here at nighttime. I didn't think about Ruger, who likes to jump up and put his paws up here, and he's started scratching my paint off of these. So my pointer would be, which I messed up whenever I ordered these. I didn't get in. Well, they kind of messed up. The picture didn't look right on the website. Don't paint your tile trim if you do tile top like us. Make sure you go ahead and get it factory colored done and make them sent me what I originally wanted, which was going to be a stainless look. Although I do like the black. I don't know that I would have liked stainless as much. Other than just weatherproof the heck out of it. Rodent proof. We haven't had any issues, but we put all of our stuff in snap proof sealed containers in the cabinets. Think about that kind of stuff as well. You're going to get roaches and mice and ants, and I don't care where you live, them jokers are running around everywhere. So think about that. Let's see here. Mikey said he's got to run. He's probably been long gone. And I just missed somebody else that gifted memberships, I thought. It disappeared. There it is. There it is. So the DRGTI 16V.
Thank you for that.
Give me your name so I don't have to keep saying that every time. Okay, no, he did a donation there. It was green. So he says, no bacon, grease, and potatoes. He's unsubscribing. Oh, man. You sound like Chris with cheese.
I didn't want to have to run back in, though.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Some people saying buffering, lost the feed.
I sure hope not.
Now, that was way on up.
Got to see the finished product here.
Uh-oh. We got it again. Breaking up. Buffering.
No.
What's going on?
Come on, YouTube.
Crystal says it's okay for her. Wade says it's good. You're still live. I don't know what's going on tonight, y'all. I checked my internet before we got on, and I was getting really good speeds, although a little slower than normal, but we always have slow speeds on Sunday because everybody's home hogging the tower up. So Zoe says hi. Hello, Zoe.
Hi, Zoe.
Okay, everybody says we're back now. Cash has got to jump off, so y'all apologize. We haven't had a kind of a technical issue night in a long time, and it used to be every episode. So I don't know. I guess we were due for one right here.
Come on, I'm doing these amazing chalupas.
I know. Well, you better hurry up. We lose everybody.
I know. My potatoes are almost done. I'm going to scoop them off, and then I'm going to get the chalupas going here.
Somebody said it's just like the old live streams, just streaming to the past. Boy, them old live streams were rough, weren't they? cell phone out there with no internet by the shop, those things cut off every time. I mean, I was literally having like 1 megabit a second. I don't even know why we kept attempting live streams back then.
I know.
We could never pull one off, it seemed like. Yeah, so a bit of a stall. I think everybody says we're halfway okay right now. I don't know what's going on, y'all. Don't
All
know.
right. I'm going to shovel my potatoes off here.
I don't know. I'm going to.
My phone's still on.
I know. I was going to come over and check it. I was wondering if I were to just disconnected or something. Dan says up in Canada, we're perfect. Well, y'all, I guess we were due for a technical night, so I do apologize. We're going to try to keep this going and make a chalupa for you. But if we cut off, I guess we cut off, huh? It is what it is. So I do apologize. These things do happen, but we haven't had no issues in a really, really long time. I hope I ain't got nothing. My luck, I'll have like Windows doing an update in the background or something, and it's got my computer going haywire, but I don't see nothing else. All right, everybody says we're back to working halfway okay. What you about to do now?
I'm about to do my chalupa.
Oh yeah, the most important part. Yeah, we can't cut off before that.
I know.
All right, well, they say we're
So
back.
if anybody is interested in the recipe for the dough for the chalupas, let me know and I'll post it after the live stream. But I wrote out. I needed some fresh dough here. And we're about to throw these on. The fan is going to blow me around.
Yeah, I don't think they can see them, but y'all know what dough looks like. I can cut that
some
fan
oil
off.
on here.
Let me cut the fan off for those.
Yeah, that way we don't mess up the cook on this.
All right.
And it's blowing the grease everywhere, so.
Okay, let's catch a few more comments before, well, we lose everything. Audio really choppy now. Oh no.
No.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull this live stream off tonight or not, y'all. Only buffered for a minute. Yep. Well, we're gonna try to make it. Hopefully it don't cut off. I really don't know what the heck is going on. I really don't know. The good news is I don't know if it's an internet issue though, because my speed was good before we got on. I don't know if it's a Wi-Fi issue. Really don't know. But if it is internet, the good news is eventually we're supposed to get fiber here, which I've been hearing that forever.
Oh no.
And I did see some engineers in the yard a few months ago doing measurements, and I stopped them because first of all, I want to know who the heck was in my yard. And they told me they were with our local electric co-op that is still moving forward with running fiber, but they told me it would probably be a year plus before we'd see them. So eventually I'm going to get 2 gig fiber here, which is amazing because we live out in the middle of nowhere. I didn't think that would ever happen. But long story short, y'all may have to wait a year before we can just have amazing live streams with all the best software and can stream them in whatever K is available now. We would be able to do that with 2 gig fiber. Oh, what else we got going on? All right, appreciate y'all giving me feedback. There's no point me rambling on talking if we're cut out, but y'all are saying we're back good right now. Trying to scroll up, find a comment. Y'all bear with me. Everybody's talking about buffer, 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 buffer. So Zoe wants to know how the chickens are doing and when you're building the coop. The coop's going to still be a couple more months. I am planning it out though. Was looking at some ideas earlier today, and the chickens are doing great. Ever since we got rid of all the aggravating roosters and just kept one, which still aggravates me. He's been trying to spur us here lately. He may wind up going to freezer camp if he keeps that up. But the hens are doing great, and we're still getting anywhere from 2 to 3 eggs a day, which is awesome from, well, only 3 hens. They've been producing eggs very, very well for us, which is okay if they don't, because we've got a friend that literally has 19 hens. And every time we go to a cookout and they show up, literally
yeah.
will bring dozens upon dozens of
You
eggs.
can get the hookup on the eggs
We
for
got the
sure.
hookup, and they're huge eggs. I asked her the names of them the other night, and I forget one she told me, but they're bigger than the store-bought eggs. They're gigantic, and they're like blue with brown spots, and they got all these kind of, I don't know, what's that color? It's like a bluish gray color. But
Yeah.
they're huge. So we do have the hookup on eggs. All right, I'm gonna scroll down. Y'all better ask some questions. Some people are saying, I ain't had a single issue. It's got to be everybody else's internet. I doubt it's that many people's internet went bad. It's us cutting in and out. And the first time we lost the other live stream is because of, looked like a VPN connection popped up. It was asking me if I want to connect to it. So is my VPN installed on the router or each device? Yes, it is currently on the device. And I try not to connect to it because I've noticed it works great for searching the internet and doing all my daily work, but I have seen some connectivity issues running a VPN before. At least I felt like trying to stream or do some YouTube stuff. So I try to keep it cut off, but earlier it popped up and was asking to connect, and that's when we lost y'all on the first live stream. So hopefully I don't have to uninstall that because I like having that. It's a good safety net.
All right, so I'm getting these first chalupas off here, and then we'll plate them up in a few minutes. And the one thing I will definitely do different next time is make my dough a little bit thicker too. I noticed that they're a little thinned out, but I didn't want them to shrink up either. So I was thinking,
Well, hey, this is kind of your first time trying this out, ain't it?
it is. It is. I'm going to turn this down and plate up a couple here.
Can't always get it perfect the first time, and guess what? I'm gonna eat them anyways.
Yes, you are.
So Rodney asked where we putting the pool. Well, I think you can kind of see me pointing. She's going to be about 15 to 20 feet off this back concrete patio right here, where the ground kind of slips back out even, because it's realistically a 3-foot drop right there. It's so hard to see on camera.
Come here, little chicken. Ugh. Well, you're going to get that one. It was on the counter.
Well, you always throw it to the dogs. Your little dog's over there. He'll take it in a heartbeat. So how's the hydroponics growing or going? Well, growing as well. They're doing good. So I now have another one with lettuce that's about 5 or 6 inches tall. Another one I just planted with lettuce. It's about an inch tall. And then I'm about to clean one out of old lettuce that we've picked on forever, get it planted. And the ultimate plan is to have 4 of those little hydroponic stations running nothing but lettuce, so we can go in there and just always pick all that we want. We do so many like burrito wraps, just salads, tacos, stuff like that all the time. We eat lettuce all the time. We actually had to get some shredded lettuce for tonight's meal, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Which I like. I like shredded lettuce on a meal like this anyways. It's something about it's kind of sweet for some reason. But for the most part, we've just been eating out of the closet.
All
And
right, so we got some of this queso cheese. We're going to put over it here.
oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you got to show Chris that. Piles of cheese, liquid gold. Mark says slow internet's part of the country life. Isn't that the truth, Mark?
A little bit of lettuce. A little bit of tomato and onion.
Onion. Love me some onion.
Not too much tomato for you here.
Yeah, tomatoes still kind of growing on me, but I've been finally eating it. I used to hate it. Hated it. So PJ, are you doing okay?
A little shoot of sour cream here. Just going to show y'all the final product here.
Yeah, we might as well in case we lose them. I think we're still doing okay.
Let me get my Fiesta potatoes on here too to show y'all.
I thought you were packing them in their 2-by. See, these are going to be the biggest chalupas on the planet.
All right, a little bit of cheese for them too.
Fancy. Chris, this is your night. Cheese going on everything. Oh, that looks good.
Mm-hmm. And it also shows a little sour cream on these potatoes. All right, look at that, y'all.
Let me get out of the way so it'll focus. It always
This
sees
is our
my face.
Fiesta potatoes, cheesy potatoes, and our chicken chalupas on the Blackstone.
Can't even see the chicken. We got it buried.
All right.
Yeah, we'll eat that up. So, PJ, to answer your question real quick, is the storm shelter tied to either the house power or the shop? Will it be connected to solar? 100%. So, it's tied to the shop, and I already have it as one of my critical circuits on my generator transfer switch. So, in the event that we go out in the storm shelter and ride out, sleep out a hurricane all night long, which eventually we're going to do, it's just the way it works here, I'll have my solar setup inside running out to it, and we always keep a portable power station out in the storm shelter. That's what they're so good for things like that. So if somehow we lose connection between the shop and the storm shelter, which we shouldn't, especially running battery backup and solar, it's not going to be an issue at all because, well, we'll just flip on the power station out there. So I've got double backup for that, not to mention it's grid tied power as well. So we're going to be good. So when is the drawing for the seeds, Mr. Jimmy? I think it's tomorrow. I think it's 27th.
Didn't it say the 28th?
I thought it said 27th. She says 28th. It's going to be tomorrow or the next day. And that company is actually doing the drawing and supposed to email out. So you had to put an email in. Make sure you check your email. I'd have to get back on there and check. It's tomorrow or the next day. But they're going to give away 3 of their kits. And I got to check them. Even though the kit they're giving away doesn't have nearly as many seed packs as mine, it's got much better seed packs in it. And I see they do offer like corn varieties and everything else. But I really like the one that they're giving away. It looks like some pretty good seeds. Do you eat wilted lettuce?
Oof.
I will. There's a lot of times we cook stuff with lettuce in it, warm it up real quick, and it'll wilt. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about like heated wilted lettuce picked straight off the plant, nah, that ain't really my thing. I don't do that so much. So yes, Crystal, thank you for telling everybody. It is wonderful seeing everybody, and we do appreciate all of y'all that are spending your Sunday afternoon with us. We're probably going to wrap this up
Yes,
here
we
before
do.
long. Tiffany's got to cook a few more
Yeah,
chalupas
I'm
for
just
lunch
getting the
tomorrow.
rest of these out.
So do it to it. And I'll grab a couple more comments here if we got them. So we said, yeah, Andrew, you need to get away from the camera and let Tiffany do the cooking and be in front of it. What can I say? That camera likes to just focus on my face. So sometimes I got to step out. Hey. Oh, yeah. Well, Dan, I'm not the world's craziest about tomatoes. They're growing on me. So that may sound good to you. I'm still trying to figure the tomatoes out. Now, the one thing I have noticed, homegrown tomatoes, which I've already got tomato plants 4 or 5 inches tall that I'm starting, there is no comparison between a homegrown tomato and a store-bought tomato.
That's true.
Store-bought tomato,
Very true.
I just about can't eat them. But homegrown, oh my goodness, they got flavor and they're sweet, and especially the little cherry and grape tomatoes. Oh my goodness, some things are really good. No comparison. So that's kind of always been my big holdup is, well, store-bought stuff just isn't any good. Wilted lettuce with baking drippings, says PJ.
Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that a couple live streams ago.
We
about
don't
that
do
too.
that. That may be an
Yeah.
oaky thing, like you said, but what we do is we cook down cabbage and we'll either do bacon or sausage. So that's you kind of wilt the cabbage, so to speak. I'm assuming that's something very similar. It sounds like I could totally see us eating that, but typically if we're going to do a meal like that, it's cabbage. So what kind of lumber did I use on my raised beds? Boy, that was controversial a while back. I used treated lumber. It's a very light treated. It's the new salt cured stuff, not the arsenic cured ground contact stuff, which is becoming very hard to get, but we still do have some mills locally that you can get that stuff from. I don't see any issues with that whatsoever. I'm more concerned about what I'll sprayed on my food and roundups and everything else. So I think I'm good to go there. And being wet Florida, you've got to have something like that or it's just going to rot and go away on you. All right, so y'all, I think while bugs are flying in and out of our food here and it's cooling off, we better eat our meal.
Yes.
We always play fetch with the dogs here at the end of the night, and then we got to clean all this up, go put the chickens up, all that good stuff. So I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody that was so kind and generous tonight,
Yes.
as well as
so
thank
much,
y'all for
everybody.
spending your Sunday afternoon with us. It means the world to us, and appreciate everybody watching and supporting the channel and doing what you do all during the week. It absolutely means the world to us. Thank you for cooking. Thank you for still
Yes.
continuing to cook. I guess we're going to munch this up right here real quick. Uh-oh, Mitch. Thank you so very much for a last minute donation there.
Yes,
Glad we
thank
caught that. Says,
you.
really enjoy your channel. Keep up the good work. Pool table, fun or beer fun?
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, I like your thinking, Mitch. All right, y'all. So again, thank y'all for spending your Sunday with us.
Yes,
Good night.
thank y'all
God
so
bless.
much.
And y'all don't forget all the people that just went through some unreal devastation. You know, a couple nights ago and today as well, with all the tornadoes and
Yes.
devastation up north
Keeping
of
them
us.
in our prayers for sure.
Absolutely do that. And reach out to Ryan Hall, y'all. He really does a lot to help support those people that go through crazy stuff and just lost everything. So good night. God bless. We'll catch y'all next week on the next live stream. And we'll see you, I guess, in a day or two on a video. Take care.
Looking forward to it. Bye.
See ya.